A pleasant good morning from the News and Public Affairs Department of Kings 88.5. This is Newsroom. Newsroom is a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Tuesday, December 17, 2024, and I'm Newton Tokpa presenting. Stories we're following this morning: a group under the banner Concerned Citizens for the Protection of the Constitution and the Rule of Law announces a non-stop capital lockdown to demand constitutional order, accuses the government of increasing unemployment, ritualistic killings, and police brutality. And Battle House Speaker Funatikova described as a total lie. Vice, Vi- Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn assertion about his negotiation to resign says he remains supportive of the rule of law. Majority Black of the House of Representatives announced its plans to pass the 2025 draft national budget in the coming days. And away from Liberia, residents of Mayoti have spoken of apocalyptic scenes caused by the worst storm in 90 years to hit the French Indian Ocean territories. These are stories we're following this morning on King's Newsroom. But let's take a very short break. We'll be right back. Thanks for rejoining us. A group under the banner Concerned Citizens for the Protection of the Constitution and the Rule of Law has announced plans to stage a non-stop capital lockdown in demand for constitutional order and the rule of law. Addressing a press conference on Monday, the group, through its chairperson, Janjay Bakbet, called for an immediate reforms in the country's governance system. Bakbet urged all concerned Liberians to rise up and demand that the Bouaka-led government restore constitutional order and uphold the rule of law. According to Bakbet, the rally is in response to the growing discontent over the ongoing impasse at the House of Representatives, particularly alleged efforts by President Joseph Boakai and Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn to remove House Speaker Funatit Kofa. He condemned what he described as an anti-democratic move by the Boakai-Kuhn administration, which he claims is attempting to usurp the legislative powers of the House of Representatives. The former Grand Bassa County Superintendent argued that President Joseph Boakai and Vice President Kuhn has funneled over $5 million into efforts to destabilize the legislature in order to gain control of the first branch of government. He pointed to the numerous social and economic issues facing the country, including rising unemployment, increasing ritualistic killings, and police brutality, as further evidence of the government's failure to provide leadership. Vakbet also highlighted the allegations of corruption within the Boakai-Kuhn administration, accusing government officials of living in luxury while the majority of Liberians continue to suffer. He quoted Article 1 of the Liberian Constitution 1986, which states that all power is inherent in the people who have the right to alter or reform the government if their safety and happiness so required. Embattled House Speaker Councillor Funati Kofod has described Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn's assertions of his negotiation to resign as total lie. According to Councillor Kofod, at no time did he negotiate with Vice President, nor the President, to resign has been insinuated by the Vice President, stating that his position is and has always been returning to legislative normalcy. He emphasized that his stance for the rule of law pointed out to the executive that the executive can continue to handle the law, but he will never waver. Speaker Kofod also said the most telling thing is that the vice president appearance and inappropriate comments on the radio talk show exposed his hand as the principal mastermind of the unconstitutional saga at the House of Representatives. In further narrated that Vice President Jeremiah Cohn had asked for white ballot for Representative Richard Cohn, passage of the budget, and discussion of committee after a new speaker, something he said he rejected. Although several Liberians have criticized the removal of House Speaker Councillor Fonate Kofa, terming it as unconstitutional, the House of Representatives remains divided, with the executive mansion and the Liberian Senate endorsing the renegade lawmakers. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia has re-emphasized the need for the respect of the rule of law, pointing out that the U.S. government is monitoring the situation at the House of Representatives. Majority bloc of the House of Representatives has announced plans to pass the 2025 draft national budget on or before Friday. The Liberian government's recognized majority bloc of the House of Representatives Committee on Ways, Means and Finance had disclosed that the fiscal year 2025 draft national budget will be passed on or before Friday, December 20th, 2024. During Monday's hearing of fiscal year 2025 draft national budget expenditure component, the chairperson of Ways, Means and Finance, P. Mark Juris, stated that the House will be working overtime to ensure the passage of the budget this week. The commitment of the passage of the budget comes in the wake of dispute on Capitol Hill over the speakership position. Representatives with majority black speaker Richie Kuhn and representatives with Mbatu, House Speaker Fonatikofa are still battling for political supremacy up Capitol Hill. The draft national budget for fiscal year 2025 is in the tune of US 851.76 million, with domestic revenue constituting 791.76 million. Several marketers at the Waterside Market have accused Monrovia City Police Director Adolphus Pape of leading again to break down and remove their market tables overnight. The aggrieved marketers told reporter Monday that they have been informed that the Monrovia City Police Director and team have given out their tables to a scrap company for financial gain. According to them, about 60 tables have been taken away on Sunday night from points, adding that this has made it impossible for owners of these tables to have space to carry out businesses. The aggrieved Waterside marketers also threatened to stage a roadblock if nothing is done to get their tables replaced. Also speaking, Waterside Market Superintendent Roland Twazaman asserted that the Monrovia City Police Director told him that he acted on the mandate of President Joseph Boakai to remove the market tables down Waterside. Twazaman further noted that many tables have gone missing overnight since the ascendancy of the Boakai-led government. Following an inquiry called by or from King's FM, Monrovia City Police Director Adolphus Pape declined to officially respond to the allegation, indicating that he was in a meeting. Several citizens of Liberia were seen protesting and presented a petition at the office of the Liberia Telecommunications Authority on Monday aimed at reducing data and voice quantity in the country. Speaking to journalists during the protest on Monday, December 16, Freddie Howard, one of the protesters, disclosed that the protesters came out after the LTA came up with an abrupt reduction of the two GSM services of the Liberian people, terming the Liberia Telecommunications Authority action as cruel. He added that the gathering consisted of members from all political parties who converged to say no to the LTA decision, noting that it is a shared evil against the smooth working of communications processes across Liberia. Howard furthered that the group of citizens under the banner "We the People Bring Back Our Data" has frowned on the salaries of LTA officials, noting that if they want to save funds for the government, they should be lowering their monthly and yearly earnings to help the government, but not to take money from the ordinary Liberian. Campbell-based Student Unification Party has sharply criticized the Boakai government, accusing the government of gross incompetence, widespread corruption, and neglect of Liberians. In a statement read by SUB Chairman Sylvester Wheeler on Monday at the University of Liberia Capitol Hill campus, the group outlined 30 key grievances and threatened mass protests if their demands were not addressed. Wheeler named a list of grievances ranging from the governance failures to police brutality, and has at the same time underscored the challenges facing Liberia's fragile democracy. The SUP chairman also noted that student group will stage a mass protest against the government's failure to address paramount issues in the country. He described the government's 11-month tenure as a period of endless deception and lies, claiming it has failed to deliver on promises while worsening the plight of ordinary Liberians, arguing that the administration lack of transparency and accountability has eroded public trust. He made specific accusations to economic mismanagement, and corruption, pointing fingers at officials of government, including Public Works Minister Roden Giddens, for allegedly masterminding or mismanaging 22 million, while also questioning dubious contracts and financial dealings involving senior government figures. The student-based political movement also frowned at unconstitutional action being carried out by the executive and condemned the removal of tenured officials and civil servants without due process, calling it as a breach of the Constitution. SCP Chairman Willard further accused the government of neglecting Liberia's educational sector, describing budgetary allocation as inadequate. Meanwhile, Widow demand urgent improvements in facilities, including modern libraries, science labs, and internet access. At the same time, Widow single out Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman and the PSU 197 Commander Malishi Koluba, accusing them of gross human rights abuses, including violent crackdowns on student protests. SUP also chastised the police for failing to address rising insecurity, citing unresolved cases like the Kinjal massacre and the killings of motorcyclists in Bikana and Nimba. Painesville City Mayor Robert Bestman has disclosed that the Painesville City Corporation has begun the construction of a two-story office complex near the City Hall in Painesville. Delivering his annual message at the Painesville City Hall on Sunday, Mayor Bestman noted that the decision came from a senior management team of the corporation, adding that the complex will consist of 12 office spaces, a conference room, and a cafeteria aimed at enhancing productivity at the city corporation. Meanwhile, Mayor Bestman thanked Maria City Corporation for a sister city corporation in helping to contribute to the growth and development of cities in the country. He furthered that his administration signed an agreement with the Orange Foundation for planting of trees in Painesville. Mayor Bestman also disclosed that the two memorandum of understanding was signed by two cities in Seoul, South Korea, on smart transportation cooperation and urban transportation. The Electronic Health Network International says it has begun discussions with the Ministry of Health on its plan to invest US 287 million aimed at modernizing Liberia healthcare infrastructure to enable Liberia achieve universal health care. Speaking Monday after an engagement at the Ministry of Health, Economic Health Network International Director General Dr. Sumaya Okot asserted that an investment would improve perception and increase trust in the Liberian healthcare system. Dr. Okot added that the project, among other things, will also address individuals' medical needs and create a community-based integrated health system. She expressed her team's commitment for the implementation and the sustainability of the project. For his part, Assistant Minister for Curative Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Tia Mo, lauded the Electronic Health Network International for its planned initiative. He emphasized the government's commitment in working with the EHN team to ensure that the project is implemented and sustained. Liberia's Standard Teacher Training College says it has successfully trained over 10,000 teachers across Liberia since the establishment in 2015. The LSTTC Training Director, Reverend Andrew Fayad, disclosed that the institution, as a teacher training institution, has not only been training teachers, but has also been involved with designing programs and due with teachers' education across the country. According to him, a survey conducted in 2015 among 200 community schools across Montserrat revealed that many of the teachers in the classrooms I at the same time were untrained teachers with only high school documents. It further indicated that Liberia's Standard Teacher Training College is training teachers that are in the low earners bracket and has been providing them the opportunity to acquire training in teachers education with affordable fees. Fire made a disclosure during the institution 9 gala anniversary celebration. Justice Yaming Besi has issued a temporary stay order in the case involving former Finance Minister Samuel Tue and his co-defendants. The ruling follows a petition for the writ of certiorari filed by state prosecutors challenging the decision made by criminal Kosi resident George A. Blamodison questioned the ruling in the case. During his ruling, Judge Dixon stated that under the Liberian law, the prosecution may challenge the sufficiency of the surety bond by filing a notice of exceptions within 3 days of the bond's approval. It also referenced Article 21D of the Liberian Constitution, which guarantees that all accused persons are entitled to bail. However, Judge Dixon emphasized that excessive bail should not be imposed in line with Article 21D, and further noted that the defendants, as former government officials, are entitled to constitutional protections and due process under the law. State prosecutors raised concern about the sufficiency of the property bond filed by the defendants, arguing that it did not meet the legal requirements to properly represent the accused. They contended that the bond was insufficient to ensure proper representation according to legal standards. Justice Basi's decision comes amid an intensifying legal battle, with the court now scheduling a conference for all involved parties. The assigned judge of the 11th Judicial Circuit Court in Tottenham, Broom County, has sentenced a 25-year-old man in prison for armed robbery and theft of property. Jared Augustine alias Pedro was sentenced by Judge Nelson Tugbat on Friday, December 13. It can be recalled on Tuesday, April 9, 2024, based on a complaint filed by Ernest Brown of the Liberian National Police for starving him off his personal motorcycle at the intersection of the C.H. Dewey Central High School and the Liberian Government Hospital in Tottenham. Jared Augustine was arrested, charged, and given due process at the 11th Judicial Circuit Court. During police preliminary investigation, defendant Jerry Alas Pedro admitted to the commission of the act and has since pleaded guilty. Speaking shortly after the court sentence, Jerry Augustine Alas Pedro accepted the court's decision but expressed dissatisfaction into the entire ruling of to the crimes. The acts committed was not carried out by him alone, but others who names he did not mention. He pointed accusing community dwellers who he said masterminded the entire process. Also speaking, Bombay County Attorney Councilor Arthur Washington welcomed the court's ruling while stating that justice has been served in the interest of the complainant, who also sustained injuries. According to him, this is not the first time for the defendant, Pedro, to have committed armed robbery and other unwholesome acts, as the court has had over 3 criminal records against him. Councilor Washington further described Jerry Augustine alias Pedro as a person who a person who disturbed peaceful residents in Tottenham and other parts of the county. And away from Liberia, resident of Mayoti, has spoken of apocalyptic scenes caused by the worst storm in 90 years to hit the French Indian Ocean territory. Rescue workers, including reinforcements from France, had come, combined through the debris searching for survivors. 20 people have been confirmed dead, but the local prefect said it could be thousands. What if you just joining us? A reminder to listen to King's Newsroom. Newsroom is a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories we're following this morning. A group under the banner Concerned Citizens for the Protection of the Constitution and the Rule of Law announced a non-stop capital lockdown to demand constitution and order, accuses the government of increasing unemployment, ritualistic killings, and police brutality. In battle, Hospital Funatikova described as total lies. Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn's assertion about his negotiation to resign says he remains supportive to the rule of law. Majority Black of the House of Representatives announced a plan to pass the 2025 draft national budget in the coming days. And we from Liberia, residents of Mayoti have spoken of apocalyptic scene caused by the worst storm in 90 years to hit the French Indian Ocean territory. On this one, now the group on the Bannon Concerned Citizen for the Protection of the Constitution and the Rule of Law has announced plan to stage a non-stop capital lockdown in demand for constitutional order and the rule of law. Addressing a press conference Monday, the group, through its chairperson Janjil Bakbet, called for an immediate reforms in the country's governance system. Backwest urged all concerned Liberians to rise up and demand that the Boakai Kong government restore constitutional order and uphold the rule of law. According to Backwest, the rally is in response to the growing discontent over the ongoing impasse at the House of Representatives, particularly alleged efforts by President Joseph Boakai and Vice President Jeremiah Kum to remove House Speaker Councillor Funati Kofa.
Citizens for the protection of our constitution and democracy and the rule of law announced a non-stop capital lockdown scheduled for Tuesday, December 17th. At the Capitol building on the theme White Tuesday, it symbolizes peace and stability. It's a non-violent, non-partisan, peaceful assembly. At this time, wherein Liberians from all walks of life must stand up and rise to the occasion of demanding the better and peaceful motherland. White Tuesday, a day for justice, a day for action. The gathering is expected to bring together thousands of concerned Liberians from diverse political backgrounds, organizations, and religions demanding the Boakai government to immediately restore constitutional order at the House of Representatives and respect for the rule of law across our spectrum of the country. The current legislative upheaval at the House of Representatives, sponsored by President Joseph Newman Boakai and Vice President Jeremiah Kum, to illegally remove and hunt down House Speaker Jonathan Funati Kofa, is anti-democratic and has the grievous propensity to sparked chaos in the country. It can be recalled that since September of this year, President Bwaka, through Vice President Jeremiah Kwankun, have invested over $5 million United States dollars to infiltrate and destabilize the House of Representatives in a quest to arbitrarily and unconstitutionally usurp the functions of the federal branch of government. The legislative impact on Capitol Hill has disrupted the constitutional functions of the legislature, thus depriving Liberians of the services our lawmakers are elected and paid to do. The crisis at the legislature is happening at a time where ritualistic killing is on the horizon. High unemployment rates, drug smuggling, police brutality, and murder of peaceful citizens, illegal dismissal of civil servants and tenure officials, unpayment of state securities, reduction of data package at the expense of all Liberians.
Chanje Bakpe. The former Grand Bassa County Superintendent argued that President Bwaka and Vice President Kun has funneled over $5 million into efforts to destabilize the legislature in order to gain control of the first branch of government. He pointed to numerous social and economic issues facing the country, including rising unemployment, increasing ritualistic killings, and police brutality as further evidence of the government's failure to provide leadership. Bakpet also highlighted allegations of corruption within the Bwaka-Kun administration, accusing government officials of living in luxury while the majority Liberians continue to suffer.
Instead of rescuing the Liberian people, the Bwaka-Kun administration in period of 1 year has shown lack of leadership, dividing the country through unscrupulous and unorthodox actions. Article 1 of the Liberian Constitution of 1986 states that all power are inherent in the people, and the people have the right to alter or reform the government if their safety and happiness require it. So, this article also states that the people have the right to remove public servants from office and fill vacancies through elections and appointment. Article 17 says that the people have the right to assemble and consult peacefully for the common good. Instruct their representatives, petition their governments for redress of grievances, associate with others, or refuse to associate in political parties, trade unions, and organizations. Therefore, fellow compatriots, concerned citizens of this country, we call on Liberians to come out in your white shirt, white face cap, or white handkerchief at the Capitol building on Tuesday, December 17, 2024. The arrival time is 6 a.m. till the demands of the masses are fulfilled accordingly. Food, water, voluntary buses will be available at intersections and entrances of 17 electoral districts in Boston County. While similar coordinated approach will simultaneously occur in the remaining 14 political subdivisions of Liberia. Come out in your numbers for the biggest historical gathering of the people in demand of constitutional order, protection, rule and order, democracy, and our high-end.
Former Grand Bassa County Superintendent Chanje Bakpe. Several marketers of the Waterside Market have accused Monrovia City Police Director Adolphus Pape of leading again to break down and remove their market tables overnight. The aggrieved marketers told reporters Monday that they have been informed that the Monrovia City Police Director and team have given out their tables to a scrap company for financial gain. According to them, about 60 tables have been taken away on Sunday night from points, adding that they has made it impossible for owners of these tables to have space to carry out businesses.
I was at home last night, but because my friend lived around the street there, she called me. She said, "Oh, they cut your table." I said, "Ah, but why they cut my table? That the whole market a breakdown?" She said, "No. All the table in your table they cut." I said, "But for what reason?" I told her she was lying off the phone. At 4 o'clock the morning again, I called her. She said that you only call your table, they carry it. I said, "But I will call the table." She said, "Certain body were here yesterday. That they didn't cut the table."
I saw Shakira's the boss at the Water and Medicine session. We received a call from our friends that the city police is using a weather machine to cut the iron table planted by the past government that were turning over to the Marketing Association for marketers. And I got a living evidence. I have phone, I got recording. Tomo G was the commander for the city police. I assigned at Waza branch at the administrative building here. And then we start hearing that the two officers that are on ground instructing the engineer to cut the table. But before we arrived, the engineer run away with the tools. So we got in a misargument and the police had to come in to calm it down. And they left, they went by the bank. We left there at night to see who gave them the instruction to take our table. Before they were going to get no owner, we to find out that the page is asking our superintendent to go to the office for redress. And we said no, we resisting.
Who is it that pay so far?
That page, they are in work with the MCC, with the Moral Civil Director, who is unified.
I want for the government to come right back and put my table there because that's where I get my living every day to support my children.
Some marketers at the Waterside market expressing their dissatisfaction. Several citizens of Liberia were seen protesting and presented a petition at the office of the Liberia Telecommunication Authority on Monday aimed at the reduction of data and voice quantity in their country. Speaking to journalists during the protest on Monday, December 16, Freddie Howard, one of the protesters, disclosed that protester came out after the LTA came up with an abrupt reduction into 2 GSM services to the Liberian people, terming the Liberia Telecommunications Authority action as cruel. He added that the gathering consisted of members from all political parties who converged to say no to the LTA decision, noting that it has a shared evil, or it is a shared evil against the smooth working of communications processes across Liberia. Howard furthered that a group of citizens under the banner "We the People Bring Back Our Data" has frowned on the salaries of LTA officials, noting that if they want to save funds for government, they should be lowering their monthly and yearly earnings to help the government, but not to take money from the ordinary Liberians.
We came under the banner, we the people bring back our data. So this data thing actually started on December 9th when Liberians woke up to realize that out of cruelty, the LTA decided to hijack what Liberians were enjoying. LTA felt that Liberians had become rich people overnight, so they did not any longer deserve to pay 3,000 megabytes of data and $5 for 15,000 megabytes of data. Those packages were reduced to $1 for 1 and $3 for 3.8. So concerned Liberians from all walks of life came together, especially on Facebook. Unity Party, CDC, is regardless of their political differences. They said no, this particular approach by the LTA is not only cruel, but it's sheer evil. Given the history of LTA already below, like generators at LTA pay 3,000 per month, LTA commissioners make over 11,000 as salary per year. So if you trying to raise revenue for government and you're trying to increase some areas and cut some areas, it can be what the layman is taking. Similar situation to the motorbike situation where the government decided that, okay, instead of expecting cars, they putting cars thinking it is a problem, we take the issue action on the motorbike. This is exactly what's happening. The layman being the victim of a system that he helped to put in the place. So there's a clear action to the LTA. We came with a written petition outlining all of what Liberians are voicing out generally across the board. We could have been out thousands today, but today is Monday.
One of the protesters who were protesting to restore data and voice quantity reduced by the Liberia Telecommunications Authority. The Liberia Standard Teacher Training College says it has successfully trained over 10,000 teachers across Liberia since its establishment in 2015. LSTTC Training Director Reverend Andrew Fire disclosed that the institution, as a teacher training institution, has not only been training teachers, but has also been involved with designing programs and deal with teachers' education across the country. According to him, a survey conducted in 2015 among 200 community schools across Montserrat revealed that many of the teachers in the classrooms at the same time were untrained teachers with only high school documents.
This vision came about after an educational NGO that I'm running called Education Watch Network of Liberia Incorporated conducted a baseline survey among 200 community schools in Mossorado County in this environment. And we realized that to every school we went to, there were at least 2 untrained teachers. There are some schools we went to from the principal to the last teacher in the classroom was not trained. So we asked the question to some of the teachers at the time that have spent 13 years in the classroom, but the minimum qualification they have was just high school credential. Some of them said that they really want to improve their capacities, but the truth of the matter was their purchasing power was low. Imagine working for $3,000 Liberian dollars. As a teacher, you are a parent, you live in a renting house, you have other social obligations to address that require spending. So all of those social challenges were issues that hindered them from improving themselves. So when we talk to the situation room, our report, the Board of Directors of Education Watch Network of Liberia instructed us to write the Ministry of Education in 2015 to give us the space to train teachers in the low-income bracket in Liberia. Since 2015, we have successfully trained little over 10,000 teachers in all of our training programs across the Republic of Liberia. We have not been only training, but we've been very innovative, designing different programs that has to do with teachers' education.
Dr. Andrew Fire of the Liberia Standard Teacher Training College speaking. The Electronic Health Network International says it has begun discussion with the Ministry of Health on its plan to invest $287 million aimed at modernizing Liberia healthcare infrastructure to enable Liberia to achieve universal healthcare. Speaking Monday after an engagement at the Ministry of Health, Electronic Health Network International Director General Dr. Samaya Okot asserted that an investment would improve perception and increase trust into Liberian healthcare system. Dr. Okot added that the project, among other things, will also address individual medical needs and create a community-based integrated health system. She expressed her team's commitment for the implementation and sustainability of the project. For his part, the Assistant Minister for Curative Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Tiap Mold, lauded the Electronic Health Network International for its planned initiative. But here is Dr. Ockert.
We are here today to see the Minister of Health and to speak to the Minister and her team regarding our project. We are here today in Liberia. We are willing to invest more than $287 million in the health system, helping Minister of Health to achieving universal health coverage for all Liberians. We had a very grateful meeting. We thank Minister of Health Liberia for her high level of commitment towards universal health coverage for Liberians. We really present our project and how it looks like. We're looking forward in the coming week because we are staying here for 1 week. Working nearly together with our colleague in the Ministry of Health to see the gap and the need for health system in Liberia and to make sure that the investment will go for seeking, making sure that no one is behind, everyone is covered by the universal health coverage, 100% access for the health service at the 3 levels, the primary level, the community level, the primary level, secondary and tertiary level. We hope we come to a consensus and we end our mission to sign with the Ministry of Health an MOU for this very important project, valuable for the citizens of Liberia to have the right to the health care.
The Director General of the Electronic Health Network International, Dr. Sumaya Okert. For his part, Assistant Minister for Curative Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Tiap Mo, lauded the Electronic Health Network International for its planned initiative. He emphasized the government's commitment in working with the EHM team to ensure that the project is implemented and sustained.
The partnership model that is being introduced to digitize the Liberian health sector for universal health coverage. That is the private-public partnership model, wherein the electronic health network will do some investment in the Liberian health sector, reaching on supply chain, health insurance for the poor people, and other. It's a partnership where you have the electronic health network partnering with the government. There will be some cost sharing, so it's not something that the money is coming and every people here, oh, they give 200 and some $1 million to the Ministry of Health. Government will have a part to play in terms of cost sharing. The meeting was great. We look for more collaborative effort to achieve this project in Liberia.
The Assistant Minister for Curative Services at the Ministry of Health. Painesville City Mayor Robert Bestman has disclosed that the Painesville City Corporation has begun the construction of a two-story office complex near the City Hall in Painesville. Delivering his annual message at the Painesville City Hall on Sunday, Mayor Bestman noted that the decision came from a senior management team of the corporation, adding that the complex will consist of 12 office spaces, a conference room, and a cafeteria aimed at enhancing productivity at the city corporation.
We are pleased to announce some of the memorandum of understanding we signed of collaboration with institutions that the Painesville City presently working with. We are pleased the senior management team also took up the decision to build a two-story office complex that is right behind the City Hall we are in. And the completion of that complex that will consist of 12 office spaces in which 7 of those will be downstairs, 5 will be upstairs, 1 conference room, closely attached will be a cafeteria to enhance productivity. We have to form collaboration with other entities and individuals. In this report, because they have been part of our achievement in the year.
Meanwhile, Mayor Bestman thanked Memorial City Corporation for a sister city corporation in helping to contribute to the growth and development of cities in the country. It furthered that his administration signed an agreement with Orange Foundation for the planting of trees in Painesville. Mayor Bestman also disclosed that the 2 memorandum of understanding was signed by 2 cities in Seoul, South Korea, on smart transportation corporation and urban transportation.
We are pleased to announce some of the memorandum of understanding we signed of collaboration with institutions that the Painesville City presently working with. We are pleased to inform you that a collaboration or sister city agreement was signed between the Painesville and Monrovia City Corporation for the first time in the history that I can reckon. The 2 mayors consult and work almost on everything. We make use of our both capacity and strength. Where the city is strong, we give capacity to Monrovia, and where Monrovia is strong, they give us capacity. And that is moving so well.